Hey guys, finally he sleeps here. Today we're going to take a look at the free-to-play 2025 challenge from HellHades. This is the account. This is how far we've gotten. We're going to take a look at the leaderboards, see where we're at. There's only a couple of days left of this thing, and discuss what we can do to kind of finish this thing out strong, and talk about what went well and what was very difficult this season so far. Over at HellHades.com, he has put on this challenge the last couple of years, and it was fantastic. Last year was a blast. It was probably the most fun 3 months I had out of 2024 playing Raid Shadow Legends, and we're doing it again this year. It is coming to an end on Friday, April 4th. There were about 60 content creators that began this journey. I think we're down to about, let's see, what is it? 56. There are 56 content creators left in the challenge. And we're going to take a look at my progress right now with the last couple of days to go. Actually, you know what? Before we do the progress, I want to show you what we're working with, because looking at the progress, it will be much more dramatic, and you will be, you'll understand why it's been such a struggle and why I'm so impressed and proud of the achievements that we've received based on our luck with the shards. Right, in the account, you can see that right now we have, let's see, Alice. Everybody got Alice. It was a free player. We all were able to grab Morag based on the Plarium points, if you were, playing desktop to be able to do this. And I think we chose, where's she at? We didn't take her to 60. We had Allure. Did I burn her? No, she's in here somewhere. Yeah, there she is. She's at 50. We picked up Allure as our free to begin with. And the reason being, oh, there she is. The reason being for Allure was she brought the turn meter control needed for Fire Knight. And last year, that was the dungeon that caused me problems, because last year we grabbed HP burn, and I think it was Mordecai was the login champion that we chose. And Mordecai was great. HP burn did fantastic. Spider really wasn't a difficult process, but we struggled on a couple of other dungeons, and Fire Knight was one of the worst. So thought, let's do something different. Everybody else was claiming kind of the same starting champions, and the determination was, let's see if picking Allure to get Fire Knight out of the way early made a big difference. And it did in the beginning stages, but as you can tell, we didn't even take Allure to 60, because Fire Knight was really the only place that we needed her. There's a few other we picked up Sabbatha as part of the first fusion that we had in there, the Esme, the dancer fusion. We did not attempt to claim the last fusion. It was just, it was, by the time we claimed this most recent fusion, Fabian the Lord Entertainer, I didn't feel like I was going to have the time to really build him and utilize him in the most effective way for points. So decided to go in on the dungeons instead and use our resources to be able to gather as many points as we could in other places. We were able to pull Miscreated Monster late in the game, and he was able to help out with Spider. We got lucky with a Cold Heart. Cold Heart, fantastic. She brings max HP hits, and she has 100% turn meter reduction, so that was great. But in the beginning, the only champion that we were able to pull right out of the gate was we grabbed Seer, and Seer was like, holy, it's Seer. This is going to be fantastic. She does great in speed runs, but the problem is Seer is 1/2 of what is required to get the most out of her. You also need a champion that does a lot of buffing, and we had no one. Realistically, the only champion that we've been able to accumulate that is able to buff with a decent quantity and quality for Seer is Sabitha, and that really hasn't been as effective as it could have been. I mean, we didn't have time for, you're not going to pull an Archmage, but there's other champions that could have helped with this, and we struggled to come up with a team that would help Seer really eliminate a lot of time in the waves. I mean, she does help, and it has been a pretty strong support for our numbers in certain places, but it just wasn't enough to really make her a standout. And of course, we weren't using Seer in Clan Boss, and that became another problem. Clan Boss, for the free-to-play challenge in the first 3 months, to be able to complete and knock out daily Ultra Nightmare makes a big difference. If you can get the max rewards on Ultra Nightmare every day, that's where your sacred shards, a lot of your additional shards, the gear that you're using in the very beginning, the divine gear, it does make a big difference if you have a decent Clan Boss team. And in the very early stages of this game, we were struggling. We couldn't find a decent damage dealer to be able to help. So no damage dealers early in the game was a massive setback. And then number 2, decreased defense and weaken. That was a big struggle. We were able to pull Ragnar Goldgleam on a Void Shard, and he is a pretty decent champ. He's very strong for Clan Boss. He does bring decreased defense and weaken. So on a single target enemy like Clan Boss, that does help. He is a very strong champion, but he's kind of one purpose. It's enough to really help, but not enough to make a massive difference. And, we have Venomage that was a positive force on Clan Boss. But again, dealing with all of that, and it took us about 2 months to be able to achieve 4 key on Nightmare, even with those champions. And right now, we are at a 2 key Nightmare setup with the team that we have. And it's not close to 1 key Nightmare. It's a 2 key. I think about 27 million is where we're at on Clan Boss at max on Nightmare. Have we used a key today? No key been used today. This is the team that we're using for this. And as you can see right now, we don't even have Ragnar Goldgleam in there. In that, and we've just been kind of basing it off of masteries and blessings, and what we've been able to do. That's the mass numbers that we've been able to pull together, and we're still in a sense where we can 5 key Ultra Nightmare if we have extra keys, but there's not enough damage there with that team to be able to take out Ultra Nightmare each and every day. There's other content creators that were within the free-to-play program that were able to pull a decent damage dealer in the early stages. We were never able to find anybody in our champion list that was able to do that, and that really put us behind on a lot of things. Not having a Geomancer, not having somebody in the very beginning that, even a Stag Knight would have helped, a Royal Guard. There's a lot of epics that would have made a big difference. I'm not even asking for a big legendary to be able to do it. We didn't get lucky pulling something like a Nut or, in any of the, like Helicath or anybody with, like block damage or unkillables or any. There's so many champions in this game that will really elevate an account, and we just could not pull anything. And we focused a lot on shards and just had the worst luck possible. Driving through missions to be able to get to this point where we can claim Arbiter, which we can do right now, was it was hell. It was a lot of work, a lot of arena. Some mistakes were made here and there, but we were able to finally claim Arbiter. So now the missions are complete and Romantu is unlocked. So we have some stuff. There's some resources and things that we can start to collect here before this ends. And then we will hopefully be able to take Arbiter to 60 in the next day or so to get it there. Do we have any ancients? We have one ancient. We may as well, let's open the shard just to see if we can pull an extra legendary. There's not enough time left in this to be able to utilize, like, you know, champion chase or summon rush, so we may as well just pull the shards now just to see if we can get some last minute luck on here, because the luck that we have had coming into this has been awful. So that's what we're working with, this the account. We do have Arbiter. We can build Arbiter. We have, I think, currently 14 60 rated players, 14 60 rated champs. Yeah, it was Sabbatha almost at 60, but there's 14 6-stars. We'll take Arbiter to 6-star. She will make it to 6-star before the end of this, and maybe one more. Maybe one more, and it may be Renegade to be able to reset some skills to see if we can't cut some time down on a couple of the dungeons. That maybe instead of Renegade we do Lua, so we have 2 champions that are hitting with 100% turn meter reduction. Not quite sure. And hopefully Arbiter will make a difference in a couple of the dungeons with her speed and full team revive, but we really don't need the help in arena. The arena team that we were able to work out is pretty decent. There's Ragnar Goldgleam that's coming in, and we were lucky enough to pull Ancora on an ancient shard about halfway through this, and she was a big help. Not necessarily a big help in any specific dungeon, just a big help as a single target reviver. But she does bring some speed to arena. So, and you know, being able to hit, I think the 3600 was about as high as we made it, gold 5. So that's kind of in the same, you know, relationship as everybody else. We kind of hit the same arena level that everyone else did without Arbiter. So even getting her here at the very end doesn't going to really change a whole lot for us as far as this goes. What mission did we just clear? Campaign mission. Challenge. Oh, clear state. Yeah, I guess we're just starting to collect additional stuff here for it. All right, so let's take a look at the progress that we had in free-to-play 2025 HellHades event. 56 different content creators here, and champion development, we're sitting at 12th place right now with a total of 14. That I would like to push to 16. Now, everybody else is also pushing as well here in the last couple of days of this, so it's possible that we may not necessarily go up from 12. I'd like to get into the top 10 of as many of these as possible, but I don't know if that's necessarily going to be possible here with champion development as everybody else continues to push there too. Great Hall development 25, and that's just because we were so far behind in arena, and that last couple of missions for Arbiter kind of set us apart. But now that we're done with Arbiter and has been collected, can grind arena and start throwing, bringing that number down a lot. So maybe we can, I don't think we'll make it to top 10, but we can probably get into top 15 if we focus on arena the next 2 days. I have to see. That'll be some additional points. Faction Wars, I think we've made it about as far as we can get. I've been sitting in the top 5 on Faction Wars and was in first for a very long time because we weren't able to really focus on building any major champions because we didn't pull any major champions in the first 6 weeks. We were just developing and training the crappiest rares and, a couple of epics that we could claim. So when you can't build decent champs to focus on clan boss or any of the dungeons, you may as well focus on Faction Wars. And I think I was in first place on Faction Wars for the longest time, and then dropped to second, kind of hung there in second for a while, but people have started here at the end to kind of catch up, and maybe can push that up to 6th or 5th in the next couple of days, but it depends on what actual factions open up and close. And we may even just stay at 7th or drop to 8th, because I would rather get the points somewhere else. Classic Arena, like I said, we're in 12th. Top 21% on that. We're at gold 5. We're not really going to get much higher there in the last couple of days. Arbiter isn't going to make that much of a difference. Tag team currently at 17, bronze 3. That Arbiter may make a little difference. We might be able to push those numbers a little bit higher. Now, current fastest champion at 244. That has not been optimized. We can probably add some time, some speed there, if I go through and rebuild some champions, spend some coins, and put together the quickest champ. So I might be able to bump that number up to add some points and some places there in current fastest champion before it ends. That'll be like a last ditch effort, because it's going to really screw up a bunch of other champion speeds and for team builds. So that'll be the very end. Nightmare campaign, all of this stuff, I can't really do anything. This was a one and done. Like, as soon as you were able to complete it, you set your points and you finished it. So we're all done with campaign, and we did get the Nightmare campaign done in 11th place, which isn't bad considering what we had. Doom Tower, 14th on 3 rotation, 2 we're in 15th, and we're in 3rd place on that rotation that hasn't come around. I think is that the rotation we're in now, or was that the first rotation? I can't remember. That helps. Let's see. Demon Lord, like I said, there it is. 27.84 on Nightmare is the best single key we've been able to do. Can I get into the top 10 on that? Maybe. Now that we can kind of focus in the last day and kind of gut apart some teams to put together the best possible Demon Lord team for Ultra Nightmare, maybe, to see if I can bump points past to earn a little bit more for there. That's a possibility. Hydra, we did well. There is 0 complaints on Hydra. 6th place out of 56 creators with the champions that we had. That is just credit due where credit deserved. That's impressive. 6th place out of 56. 7.76 million on easy with a crappy squad and just a very tedious manual run. Chimera, 12th place. I don't know if we even used the last key for Chimera yet. There may be a Chimera key available. Let me look. We used a Chimera key. 3.68 mil on easy. Maybe we'll try hard and see if we can't bump that up. We still have one more key. I don't even know if we'll get credit. Well, we would get credit for that one, even if it doesn't end before. Well, no, it would end because we'll get that back before Friday. Dungeon for Dragon, 10th place. Well done. That is best stage 6. That is hard. That is not regular Dragon. That is best stage of 6 on hard. Ice Golem, 7th. Fire Knight, 17th. Never really got... See, it's funny because we started this whole free-to-play thing out using Allure because I thought, okay, fantastic. We'll have Allure. We can, make a jump on Fire Knight. And then never were able to build from there. So, yeah, the best time, 352 on stage 20. I think maybe we can push that number higher. I don't know if we'll get top 10, but we can push that a little bit higher. It's funny because that was the one dungeon that I thought I was going to have the best chance with, and it never really worked out. Now, Spider was a bitch. I'm just saying it. Spider was a bitch. Going with Allure, sure, it helped out Fire Knight, but it basically bent my ass over for Spider. And that came down to the last 2 days, trying to be able to claim to beat level 20 on auto with the squad that we had, because we really don't have any AoE HP burn other than Achak, and he lays down freeze on the spiders and not HP burn. So that was a tough one. Spider That ain't getting any better than 11th. That's probably about as good as it's going to get. Minotaur 4, Arcane. The keeps we did really well on because we could focus on them in the beginning because we weren't messing with, you know, Clan Boss. First in Magic Keep. That one's still standing in a minute 20. Force at 7th. Iron Twins 25th. That I just did the other day. That just coming back to Iron Twins to see if we couldn't push up a little higher. Maybe break 20 in the next 2 days. I don't know. But Iron Twins without specific champions, that's a difficult push. Sand Devil, stage 13 at 241, 14. See, we really don't have any strong sleep champions either. So those two right there are Iron Twins and Sand Devil, I think have more to do with how lucky you were with pulling specific champions to be able to take on those dungeons. And I don't know if I can do anything better than where that's at. So that's where we're standing in the individual dungeons. So let's take a look at overall. All right, here it is. Overall, the 56 content creators, it's showing 55 right now, but the content creators, everyone that's in, Bone at number 1, Bront Cat Herder sitting at number 2. He's been there for quite a while. Dante Raids, and then HellHades sitting in 4th. Tracks on Sundays at 5th. YST in 6th. Fox Mode in 7th. And there I am in 8th place. 8th place with the shittiest clan boss build. No major damage dealing champions other than Alice. I just, like, I've been saying now for the last few weeks that we haven't been able to do anything great. We're not great on anything other than Magic Keep, but we've been able to somehow scrape and claw our way to be decent at about everything. So that's where it is. That is overall, if you look at it, that is, I'm happy with that. That is a push. 8th place, and we still have 2 days left and the final rewards. So that, I guess that could go either way. We could lose some chance to go a little higher. I don't know. 8th is a good place to be a couple of days in. I have a chance to go higher. I just don't know if that's actually going to happen. But, you know, overall 8th place, you look here in the individual top 10 boards. Champion Develop, we're not in. Great Hall Development, we're not in. Faction Wars, 7th. Classic Arena, no. Tag Team, no. Fastest Champion, no. Campaign Progression, no. Doom Tower, in 3rd place on 1, but not in the rankings at all on 2 and 3. Demon Lord Progress, no. Hydra Progress, no. Chimera Progress, no. Like, we're not showing up on these leaderboards, but yet we're still sitting 8th overall. That says a lot about just the grind and determination. So we're almost done. There's just a couple of weeks left on this thing, and I am absolutely pumped with the way this thing is going. This has been a blast. It will probably end up being the best 3 months of 2025 for Raid Shadow Legends for me as well. Big thank you to all the sponsors and to HellHades for putting this together and allowing me a chance to get in here with my team, because this has been an absolute blast. That's where we're going to end it here. We've got a couple of days left. We'll come back and see how it actually finished out in the final video of this whole thing. But as of right now, I am feeling really, really just satisfied. That's a good word. I am satisfied with the accomplishments that we've been able to achieve here throughout this whole thing. That's it. I appreciate you guys watching and following. Make sure you subscribe along here on the Raid Shadow Legends channel. I'm Finally He Sleeps. As long as you guys keep showing up, I'll keep making videos.